Hello, guys.
Hello.
Hey, hello everyone. Great to see you, Filip. Great to see Tomislav. And yeah, great to be here again. Another week, and today topic more so on cybersecurity. But first, Filip, why don't you present our special guest for today?
Yeah, I'll be very brief. Thank you, Gio. Tomislav Vuk is our friend, business partner, and cybersecurity expert. Please, Tomislav, tell us a little bit more about yourself.
All right. I wouldn't say that I'm an expert, because every cybersecurity guy or a girl has imposter syndrome. So we always think that we don't know enough, and that's number one. But so to speak, yeah, I'm in cybersecurity for some time, and it started a long time ago. But there was a pause in my life where I didn't do that, and where I lost interest. But let's say that I'm sort of in IT for a long time. I mastered electrical engineering and telecommunications and informatics. So that's part of my professional development was also cybersecurity. I was also interested in very much in human behavior and social engineering. And when I learned that actually hacking and cyber threats are more, and the huge percentage, most percentage, like 95% is related to human error. It took my interest again. So I was interested again in cybersecurity. I started again with that topic, and I found myself in cybersecurity awareness, and that means teaching other people how to prevent incidents that are human related, that make up 95%. Well, if we talk about implicit human error, that would be 95%, but in overall it's more than 60% of all data breaches are related to human error. So that's in short what I do, what's my profession. So
yeah. Awesome. Thank you. And by the way, mentioning the intro and everything, Tomislav have prepared one interesting topic for today, and that is we are too small to be interesting. But the point is that everybody is actually a target. So, Tomislav, please proceed with the topic, and we are jumping in.
Yeah. So there's a misconception how actually hacking looks like. So there are very sophisticated ways to hack a company, hack an organization, or an individual. Usually people think that it's like in the movies, there's a guy with a hoodie, and he's typing something, and after a few seconds he says, "I'm in." It's not how it works. Usually the bad actors are, in many cases, in recent years, are not very savvy people. If we talk about technical stuff, most of them are not. Those who are very savvy, who are so to speak good experts and know things. These people are usually working for APTs. That means for advanced persistent threat groups that are state sponsored, and they are part of bigger plan. They have bigger targets, but in general population, cyber criminals are scammers, and some of them are IT professionals who know things, but they are not some overly people with huge expertise, so to speak. But they understand, they're very cunning. They have they don't have scruples, and they are ready to exploit every human vulnerability and every known vulnerability in the system. So today it's very simple to do that. So when they pick targets, they can pick targets randomly. They don't have to ask who they pick. They can simply pick a small company like 5 employees and deploy ransomware. disable business processes and steal data, just disable company as that. And that could if, for instance, if you have a company like small company, that could mean the end of the company. So whatever you did, it's over.
Yeah, I have one question though. Simply considering your experience in tech world, meaning tech companies, no matter the size. For example, development companies, web development, mobile app development, even agencies. What is the actual state and how much they are truly resilient to threats, and also the level of their actual awareness towards the security, information security, and every other aspect? Please tell us a little bit more about that specific realm.
Well, to be honest, it's very subjective. So if you speak to people who are in cybersecurity, most of them will tell you that, you know, it's from company to company. It's people who are inside will say it's good, we are safe. If they are IT experts, doing some security. Sometimes they will say that. People who are more into cybersecurity, because IT and cybersecurity are two different. They are related, but they're different groups. You know, they're different different areas of knowledge of things, of work, everything. And those companies who understand that that you have to have a department for IT, but you have to have a separate department for security, these companies are already mature enough to understand some kind of threats that could impact them. And these companies usually have sensitive data. They are afraid of losing data, losing credibility, losing money. It's very expensive. It's very bad for your reputation. It could be very dangerous. And more recently, the most mature companies, they understand that this could also impact mental health of the employees and the personal lives of people. And these companies know they have to invest, they have to have people for that. These people are usually very educated. I really can't say that I met people who are bad at what they do. These people really know, they are into it, they like it, they like this, they're interested in it. So it's not about the people they employ, it's usually about those who do not understand this. So if you employ people, they still have to deploy some they have to have tools for that, they have to have policies for that, and some of these things are not popular. They can if you have cyber awareness training, you have to invest time in that. You have to talk to people, you have to organize it. People have to work on it. They have to learn it. You have to monitor, analyze this. You have to test it with phishing tests. If you have EDR or something like that, some technical solution, you have to invest money in it. It's not cheap, and it's still viewed as an expense. It's not viewed as an investment that can save you money, that can save your business. We're talking about survival. 50% of small companies actually go extinct after a bigger cyber attack. We're talking about small companies.
Because that is a big impact on them, on their business. So practically, we can say that the accountability, as always, lies within the executive roles in that respectable realm. I'll mention this. I'm a big advocate on fractional roles. So what do you think about potentially for any marketing agency, development company, and similar complementary industry activities. What do you think about making the engagement with fractional roles for cybersecurity? So engage with professionals who can help and support establish the right processes, the right systems, and make the system and the company more resilient to the outside threats and threats overall.
There is I would say, a business philosophy again on a more mature markets that says that the CISO, so Chief Information Security Officer, should have a bigger autonomy and should be a decision maker, one of the decision makers, so that he should be one of the most important people in the company, because we live in such era. It wasn't like that 2 or 3 years ago. It wasn't. Nowadays we have for instance, in Croatia, only in Croatia, which is we have a language that is spoken only by Croatians and partially by Serbians and Bosnians. We speak practically the same language. Okay, it's a bit different, but so we are not a country that, you cannot exploit phishing just like that, like in German or English or Spanish speaking world where many people speak it. We are not exposed like that. But still, we have a huge rise of cyber threats, of cybercrime. Huge rise. Every week I hear another 5 cases happening. I talk to people I go to business meeting and people tell me about, my partner, this one was attacked. These guys were attacked 3 months ago. 50,000, 100,000 euros. It's not small money. So we are talking about, the crime is on the rise. So responsibilities are also on the rise. So you have to be aware that this is a time when you have to adapt. And you have to give these roles to people, who have higher autonomy, but then again, it's a problem of trust. You just employed somebody to give them some kind of right to make your security policy, to run the show, and you barely know the person. So it's also a matter of trust. You have to trust these people, just like buying anything else. You have to trust, and you have to like this person. So it's not easy.
Yeah, the trust is a foundation to relationship, no matter the scope. Nor we are talking about cybersecurity, or we are speaking about any kind of business strategy, deployment, and similar. So I agree on that, definitely. Gio, what are your thoughts generally?
Really quick, I think it's real interesting the points you brought up, and some of the things I've gotten from it so far while listening has been that essentially we're seeing that the world is in the middle of a digital transformation, right? I see it's a technological revolution that's occurring with a lot of technologies as things advance and technology continues to get better a lot faster. And then as it gets better, it gets cheaper and more people get access to it. But then that also means that risk increases along with that. So I think that that's something that is not being taken into consideration from what I hear, what you're saying. Everybody can be impacted, even from like an individual level all the way up to a corporate and the larger scale level. So everybody's exposed in some way, which is why I think from what I'm getting is everybody should educate themselves on cybersecurity and how they can protect themselves as an individual. And then also companies should be creating the processes so that they can be resistant to these type of attacks, which you said was very interesting, that 50% of the businesses don't recover. Small businesses don't recover from an attack. So that's right there, a super big risk, which I found that data real interesting that you mentioned. And then also the other thing I got was that we should be thinking of that chief information officer. That person should be just as important as an accountant or as a lawyer, as the chief marketing officer, like the CMO. So that's sort of what I'm seeing from what your thoughts were, is that companies should think about having this person or this role as basically an essential part of doing business, because if not, you will be exposed and then you can suffer the consequences. And I think that's very important to emphasize in this conversation from everything you said, because like the topic is, right, everybody is at risk. You're not too small to not be a target, right? Like you said, they don't care about the size. They care about, just extracting as much as they can, be it from a small individual or from a big corporation. They're just looking to extract every opportunity that arises. And I think that's something we have to get more. I see it a lot, especially the phishing and all of that aspect in the because in addition to the agency world, I'm also very much involved in like the crypto community, right? And we know that in crypto, everything is in the digital format, right? Everything is done online, so there's a lot of risk in those communities as well. We've seen a lot of scammers, and maybe to end it, you could talk to us more about the social engineering aspect. That's the part that I find interesting about all this, because I think one of their biggest tools is the social engineering that they use to then guide you down the road to trusting them first, and then you committing an error because you lowered your guard down, right? And I think that's sort of what that social engineering aspect of it to me is very interesting. The way, right, I've seen it before, and luckily I haven't fallen in it, but I've seen it where literally there's scams where they literally put the time in to have conversations with you, like they're real people. Like they'll have a normal conversation, and then it'll keep going, and then all of a sudden you'll just see weirdly they'll send you something. Oh, why don't you just I have this opportunity, why don't you check this out really quick? And then all of a sudden it's a link they send you. Since you've been building this relationship, all of a sudden that social engineering kicks in, and you're like, wait a second, this person, I've been talking to them for like the past month, and they seem like a good person. Let me go ahead and see what this opportunity is about. You click the link, and all of a sudden you're done. So what are your thoughts on that part of the social engineering? To me, is one of the biggest factors, and I think that's interesting.
That's right. Well, so just to remind you, the CISO, there's a philosophy that CISO should be reporting directly to the board, to the CEO, and to the board, to the top level management. So he should be as high as possible, because it's he's like number one in defense. As for social engineering is a part of human history. It's we speak about hybrid warfare, how it's a separate thing to the common warfare. It's not. Social engineering was part of human history forever. Like the Romans used to rewrite history. They would demonize their enemies. They would write things that we find out that weren't quite true. So today we have Napoleon, for instance. Napoleon was printing Russian rubles. They were spending fake Russian money in Russia. They were causing inflation. So they were spreading fake news. They were. It was always, we see it as a separate thing. Nowadays we have cyber attacks on small companies as a part of bigger cyber warfare, because it damages economy of of an enemy country. So using social engineering is we were in a public space, and now we are in a virtual space. So in a digital era, we have same people doing same things, just doing it online, and they have more tools for that. Yeah. So you have a Roman scam using loneliness of people, lots of women and men falling for that. I've seen it on LinkedIn, people talking about it. People selling stuff for a small price, knowing that they will not be persecuted by the law because the price is too small for an official crime. So in some countries, it's for instance in England, sometimes I heard it. I'm not sure for that, but I think that under £10,000, people are actually, they can sleep with that, away from that. So they're using same old scams, snake oil, but now it's digital. So they're using scam. They're using and phishing. Phishing is very, it makes a huge percentage of cyber attacks, and they're using fear. They're using fear of missing out something.
Yeah.
They're using fear of a deadline. By the end of the day, you have to reply to this mail, or else, they're using fear, and they're using, or they can use, the how would you call it, the element of surprise, the element of expectation, something good or bad. So we humans, we still have same fears, same worries in life, and it's exploited. And if we take tragedies in life, for instance, you had there was a funeral of Queen Elizabeth of England. So when she died, they abused the fact that the woman died, and they were sending fake. They sent fake. How would you call it? Notifications about the funeral, invitations to the funeral, and things like that. War in Ukraine, they were using the misfortune of the refugees. So again, it had been abused for, we are donating money. If you're not helping, you're not with Ukrainians. You're not part of the cause, if you're not helping.
Yeah.
And the organization doesn't exist, but people donate money. Why? Because they don't want to miss out this, they want to be part of something good.
Yeah, they want to support people and help people. That is the primary driver, and it is being directed to
or making money, whatever.
Yeah.
And there's also, we use too many services. Just as you mentioned, we have too many technologies now in every aspect of our life. People are using too many services. They don't even know how many. So you have people watching, I don't know, Amazon Prime, HBO, Netflix, things like that, paying over PayPal, having few email accounts, several social media accounts, so Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, whatever. Everything can be abused.
Yeah.
We are talking about, you can receive a fake mail saying, your password has been changed. There was an attempt of hack of your account. So you can ask yourself, what the hell happened? Somebody attacked me. I have to change my password. Then you click on the link and you type your password exactly on the same place. So, and usually people who are in cybersecurity, there are people who, they could share 30 links, 30, 40 books. I've seen it. It's everything about technical stuff, nothing about human aspect. The human aspect is by Pareto principle, is 90%, 95% by IBM cybersecurity intelligence report says this. Human error is cause of 95% of data breaches. That's a lot.
Yeah. Absolutely.
You cannot avoid it.
Exactly.
It's the most important part.
Yeah. And we are at the end of our today's meeting. Let's share and help us with the points and bullets you would emphasize and push towards the audience. Maybe the suggestions how to build awareness inside the companies, and what are kind of the steps they should take to make their environment more secure.
Okay, it's first of all, we cannot allow ourselves to be too proud. We have to be humble on this. Everyone can fall. People like Christopher Hardnett or Roger Grimes, they are real experts on cybersecurity. They've done thousands of phishing tests, and they say they still can fall, and they fall for the tests within their own companies. So everyone can fall on that. And one slip of, if you're not aware of this, if you're not careful, it can happen to you.
Yeah.
Second thing is that it's more common. You have to be aware that it's more common than we actually believe it is. It's very common among people in companies, small companies, organizations. Everyone is affected, even children. It can affect our lives and our lives of children also. Next, people should be aware that if you use same password on your email, but also on your social media account, on everything else, one of your account can be leaked, and you can lose everything. So you always use different passwords on different accounts. Never use the same. Also, you have to be aware that not every data can be used against you. Your email can be stolen and used for another crime. Your identity will be stolen. So that's another problem. So that's what they are using. That's what they are doing. So we have to be aware that these people are exploiting us also for their own goals. And it's not. It cannot be learned overnight. It's just like learning a language. You have to take time. You have to repeat lessons. You have to be aware that these people, they're very cunning. Mm-hmm. They are very, they will use anything, even human tragedy, for the crime, to commit crime, and they will use human emotions also, and that's about it. It takes time to learn things, but you have to start. You have to be. You just have to accept that we are living in such world.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Thank you, Tomislav. Yeah, that's some great points to sum it up. Yeah, basically, whoever's listening, if you haven't got a strategy on cybersecurity, right, and how you're going to protect yourself, I think this is a great introduction conversation to that, so that people can start thinking about what their processes are, right, for preventing these type of attacks, cyber attacks, to happen, and the importance of us being really intentional about focusing on this area in the business. Because like you said, I think a lot of people still, like we've mentioned in the conversation, they still are not taking it as seriously as they should. Usually it takes for something to happen, or for somebody that they know close to them, for it to happen to them, and then they kind of start to rationalize. But we shouldn't wait. We shouldn't wait until that point, though. So great points, Tomislav. Thank you.
Yeah, awesome.
You're welcome.
And thank you for today being here, for all the valuable information, and catching up soon.
Yeah, thanks.
Awesome. Take care.
See you guys.
See you lads.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.